Okay, in the last video tutorial we looked at subdividing stuff up. What we're going to do now is look at a different way of manipulating an object. Okay, and we're going to look at a thing called extruding, which is very useful. So I'm in a fresh Blender scene and I've got a cube. So I'm just going to go to edit mode because I want to edit the cube. And over here in tools, I'm going to just subdivide it up a couple of times. So we've got a 4x4 grid on each face. So on each side, I should say, that's actually 16 faces that we've got there on one side of the cube. So what we're going to do is we're going to deselect all, come over here and select the face selection tool, like that, and I'm going to select and drag on this face here, and I'm just going to pull it up, and so right click on the mouse to pull it up, left click to lock it in place. Okay, and I might do another one over here. So right click to drag it out, left click to lock it in place. And you can see we drag stuff out using the faces, and if we wanted to, we could move these back and forth and play around with them. But you'll notice that as the faces come up, everything else has come up with it. Okay, so it's kind of formed a mound that's come out of the ground, and it's stretched everything else up with it. So what we're just going to do is show you how extrude works, which is a different way. So I'm going to go back to how we were. I've got the face selected, so let's just, for the sake of going back to the start, deselect all, and pick another one. Let's pick that one. Okay, and on the tools panel, extrude region, and you'll see now you can pull out the cube without everything else being dragged up by it. So click on it, extrude region. Let's choose a corner one, extrude region. Yeah, so you can start to build some quite complex objects in this, and obviously if you click back to object mode, the edges vanish, so you can see. Go back to edit mode, and an interesting thing you can do is you can extrude an extrusion. So if, for instance, here, if I could right click on there, extrude region, and I could extrude a region, and perhaps at the end, just for the sake of it, I could scale it down, okay, or perhaps rotate it to put a funny twist in it. So you can start to make some quite interesting objects just by doing this. And what you can also do is, if I choose one over here, is right click and push back. So right click. Try that again. Right click, extrude region. I can go into negative space as well, so I can actually go into the object and start making holes in the object as well. And if I wanted to, I could go all the way through. So one very useful purpose of using extrude is, let's start a completely new project in Blender. So I'm going to go File, New, load up my basic starting screen, press delete the cube, and I'm going to go up here to create, and then I'm going to go plane, and that's going to basically put a sheet of paper into my scene. Now, if I wanted to, I could extrude the whole piece of paper, at which point, so let's go into edit mode and extrude region. It becomes a cube, basically. But we're not going to do that. What we're going to do instead is, in edit mode, select the faces, then deselect everything that's there, and we're just going to select one of the far faces, extrude region, and I'm going to pull it up, and I'm just going to press Z to try and lock it to the axis. It's going a bit ballistic because of my graphics card on here. Try that again. Okay, so what I've done is I've extruded an edge. We'll see if it's a bit smoother on my graphics card. on the next one. So I've extruded one edge, so I'm going to select another one, extrude, and press Z to lock it to the Z axis, and that was a bit smoother. You can see what I've done there is, we've basically created a room that we can pop objects in. So if you wanted to build a scene, you've got a very basic mock-up of a scene that you could put stuff in. If you wanted to, you could put another one in here. Okay, so we just go back to edit mode, edges, extrude, just press Z to lock it in. And I'm not keeping Z pressed, I'm just pressing it once to lock it to the Z axis. Yeah. So you can see that we've got something akin to like a TV set or stage set that you could put objects in. So that's a useful use of the extrude tool.